Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the new topic of today. The topic is about PMI, PMP and PMBOK. I wanted to have a full training on PMP certification, and inshallah very soon I will make this training and upload it. Right now the idea is to give a very brief introduction about PMI, PMP and PMBOK, the book that basically governs the whole project management processes. So just to start, PMI is a non-profit organization which was founded in US in 1969. This was found by some industrial experts because when they see that the project management style in all the industries and all the professions is almost the same, but every industry is using this project management in a separate manner. So they try to formalize a set of knowledge, a body of knowledge to guide the professionals to use some good uh, examples or best practices of project management so that they can run their project smoothly and in the best way. So PMI has around 2.9 million professional members, which are working in nearly every country of the world. PMP or Project Management Professional is one of the 9 certification or credentials offered by PMI. So apart from PMP, there is CAPM, PMI SP, PMI RMP. There are more others as well, and they are doing this in some new venues as well. The PMBOK or Project Management Body of Knowledge is basically a set of standard terminology and guidelines. Basically, this is a book, a guidebook, whose 6th edition is released very recently in 2017. This guide is basically a document which is resulted from the work of a lot of volunteers around the world who gave their suggestions to PMI, and PMI as a governing body, or we cannot say it governing body because it has no influence on governance of project management, but they are just, you can say, a kind of consultant which can guide you that how a project should be run smoothly. If you follow a project as per the framework detailed in PMBOK, then the chances that your project will be successful, chances will be very high. So PMBOK is, in simple words, these are some guidelines which may or may not be followed based on an actual project. Some project may have some part of the guidelines, or some project may have some other part of the guidelines. It depends on how much and how small is the project. But you can use this knowledge in almost every project around the world, because these are the best practices which are given by the volunteers around the world, and then they are managed and put in a book by PMI. Here I have tried to give you a very brief of what a project manager has to do during a project. A project has 5 process groups. These process groups are in the project phases as well. Some projects should have all these phases or process groups. A small project can have these phases in a very small way, or maybe like the first phase of initiating may be missing, or the last phase of closing should be very small. But generally each project goes through all these phases. The phases are initiating. When you initiate a project, then you plan that how this project will be executed. Then the project is actually executed, and during execution you do a monitoring and control, and at last you close the project. And during all these phases, these are the 10 knowledge areas that a project manager should be looking after. These are integration, scope, time, cost, quality, HR, human resource, communication, risk, procurement, and stakeholders. A project manager should manage all these things in the whole life during the life of project. These knowledge areas, some of them are more focused to some specific process groups, and some of them are not required in some process groups. And each of these knowledge areas has under them some tasks to do. I mean, what you have to do during integration, what you have to do during time, cost, and these things. Generally, you try to manage all of these during a project. So a project is basically a grid of these process groups and these knowledge areas, and a project manager is required to take care of these knowledge areas during the whole phases of the project process groups or project phases. So if you have any question, any concern about this presentation, please let me know. How you can contact me, it's the same. You can either send me an email or LinkedIn, or you subscribe to my channel and then you can ask your question. I will reply all of your questions, inshallah. So keep learning, keep watching, and do ask some questions so that we can have some bi-directional views and we can learn from each other, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.